Hey, Nation, we are back. We'll talk about this in a moment. It's starting to go roasty toasty down here in Texas. We're sitting at mid-June, and we got a couple months ahead of us, so keep the AC on. I'm with a fellow Texan, Brandon Cross, just down the road. I call him my nearest next door neighbor in San Antonio. I'm out in the Austin area, but in this state, we're next door neighbors. It's a big state. Brandon, how you doing down in San Antonio? How are things?
Hey Harry, doing good, doing well today. Things are definitely getting hot down here too, but we've got the Spurs mania that just has passed through the city. Of course, the outcome of that we would have preferred to be a little different, but it's everything is is what it is. But yeah, San Antonio's rocking and rolling. It's been crazy down here for the last few weeks for sure.
Yeah, well, Spurs are a young team. We shall return. We shall return.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I didn't like the ticket prices. I didn't drive that 70 minutes door to door, but I
You know
that's
what
I
happened was people were excited from New York when they came into San Antonio because the ticket prices and the cost of visiting the city is so much lower than over there that they felt like they were getting the deal of a lifetime here.
yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. Hey, let's get down to business. So you're a frequent poster, which is more or less how I met you with some of the good work you're doing in the MSP community and the DevOps community and so on. Appreciate you. The topic today is MSP Divergence. You did a piece a little while ago about MSP Divergence, and it was basically DevOps versus cybersecurity. So over to you. What are you thinking?
Sure, Harry. So what I noticed because I've been in the MSP space for a long time. Okay, I've started my first MSP back in 2004 from a break fix environment that I'd cobbled together when I was in high school. And so the MSP world has kind of ridden the gravy train, and
Yeah.
now it's things have changed, right? MSPs have to evolve. And one of the areas, and this isn't even the most recent area of evolution that MSPs are facing, but a few years ago, I started to roll out. I'd sold my MSP, and I was rolling out into trying to figure out what the next thing was. And I thought I was going to be cybersecurity for me because I was so heavy into cybersecurity work um, when I was running my previous MSP that it seemed to be like the direction to go. But I actually ran across the DevOps cycle of things. And that is an area where I actually became very focused and started to grow. And so that's where I think MSPs can diverge one of those two directions. There's other directions they can go, being a VAR, vertical vendor for some, line of business application or something like that. But really, the two major lines they're heading towards is, are they securing environments, or are they managing software deployments that organizations are standing up that are custom applications they're running in house?
Yeah. Yeah, I just read an article. Good timing today to meet up with you again, mid-June, folks. But I doom scroll at 2 a.m. So Brandon, don't ever get old. It's goofy when you're older and your sleep patterns. So there I am doom scrolling, and there was a piece about AI is going to eliminate apps, and it was an interesting conversation. I don't completely agree, but it seems like that's one of the DevOps conversations, right? Is this going to take down the context of this article was, you're getting tired of SaaS fees, $99 here, $100, a lot of $100 haulers with SaaS, right? And is this going to take that down? Any thoughts on AI versus applications over the DevOps side?
Absolutely. Because in the past, building an application was a very, very big challenge. It was a huge task, okay? Managing it, setting it up, writing all the code, and everything was very complicated. Now, in this kind of like newer sort of AI driven, I don't want to say vibe coding world, but in a world where an organization can sit down and they can give somebody inside of their company a directive, and that person can log into, a website like Replit or Base44 or Lovable, or there's a variety of systems, and start to build something that resembles the feature set that they're already paying for. Then these organizations are moving over to these in droves, and that's driving, I think, the actual opportunity for MSPs in the DevOps space, because when an organization launches some containerized service that they just created in Lovable or something, then they don't really know how to properly manage that, and that's where DevOps is going to come into play.
Yeah, what I'd like to do, and I think you and I both, we have a mentor inside of us to, I don't like the word coach. There's too many coaches in our space, but how about encourage people in our space to keep their chin up, and there's always opportunity. And I guess one of my lines is, when I read that, I've gotten to know you pretty quick. It's always been this way, that we've always kind of had paradigm shifts in technology, and oh my God, the sky's falling, and whether that was the hysteria over Y2K or cloud's going to wipe out the laptop.
Yeah,
but it's always
exactly. You're right. Those have been huge fear-driven, scenarios. Today, there's the AI one is right there, and it is something that will be very disruptive to a lot of people. But it's also, anytime you get disruption, you get opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And now speaking for myself, here, and maybe you can coach me, for lack of a better word. So, I had the good fortune or misfortune. When I first moved to Seattle, I was an adjunct instructor at those, trade institutes like even before, the Alaska Computer Institute, and then down in Seattle Griffin College, the old Tuesday, Thursday night for 2 hours at night. And these were good people. These were working people, And I mean, like Domino's delivery drivers who were just trying to get a step up in life and learn at the time. And you were there, man, the MCSE certification. So the Windows NT, and good people. And because I taught at Griffin College at the time, one of the side benefits is free tuition, right? Like, hey, Harry, do you want to sign up for Visual Basic or C++, or, well, I guess we just called it C plus or C then. And here's what I found. It was not a natural act for me. I basically dropped out of both. It wasn't a good use of my time. I was newly married, and I needed to be mindful of, home time, family time. But it wasn't a natural act. I mean, dude, I got my ass kicked. And Visual Basic wasn't even that hard. So how do you respond to that? I'm not alone, right? A lot of us MSPs came up through infrastructure and, SMS and reboot and, the registry and HKey, the hives. I mean, that I still have nightmares about that snitz. Any words of wisdom? Because I just thought, it's just not what I do, dude, was coding at that level.
Software development is really difficult and takes a particular type of mindset. Infrastructure and systems people oftentimes have a different type of mentality, a different way of thinking than software developers do. And that's why there's a big divergence between those two communities. So one of the things that AI has done is it's given sysops people an opportunity to essentially become DevOps without trying. The beauty of the way that you can run some of your operations today is that a lot of answers that would otherwise take you a long time to get can be quickly gotten by using systems like Claude Code. So, and Claude Code even runs on PowerShell. So you can literally install it on a system and just say, here's what I'm having a problem with, figure it out. And then it will tell you exactly what commands it's running every single time, which you can go verify and validate. So there's ways to bridge the gap. When you're developing software now, you prompt for it. You basically, it's about connecting the interconnected layers. It's about, if you understand what an API endpoint is and how it receives, a message and what it does with it, then you can build an app now. And that's a very basic infrastructure, almost network like concept. So the abstraction layer
Yeah.
between what used to be that complex sort of the semantics of software development and inserting functions and parameters and scopes and keeping all that orchestration in your mind doesn't exist in a lot of the AI apps because you're looking at the API endpoints and you're looking at the database tables and how they connect, and that's practically it.
Yeah. Yeah. Any final thoughts? We're almost at about time. I told you in rehearsal that we do like to be mindful of time because I'm not a well-known Austin podcaster, no names please, that has a daily 90-minute show. And even I don't even want to listen to myself for 90 minutes. So any closing thoughts? And I'm gonna put your LinkedIn profile link in the blog.
Yeah, get ready for a lot of garbage AI apps to show up at your clients, and get ready for people that are setting up automation of those systems at the user level to start showing up behind the scenes, and have a plan for how to govern that. And that's what I would say is my final thoughts.
Yeah, great. Hey, stay on the line. I want to talk to you for a minute, but we're going to stop recording. So, Nation, before you know it, we're right on top of the 4th of July weekend. I actually have a fun podcast coming up with a well-known hacker along the lines of Kevin Mitnick, who unfortunately we lost a couple years ago. But we both started with the Apple II Plus. So, folks, holiday week, I got a giggle for you, and Brandon, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Harry, for having me.